Hi everybody, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. Well, for many of you people, I got to tell you that there's been a lot of art, A-R-T, around town. Just recently, if you went down to pay your bill at the, city office downstairs, you'd see all these little pictures hanging around on the ceiling and saying, what is going on? And that was the final outcome of the winning coloring chart. And many people didn't realize, but if they tuned into council meeting, this one gal who's in the 4th grade at Washington School actually got an award. And her class right now, according to the gal that was giving the presentation, will be having a chance to go to the electric department and water department for a tour.
Just watching the council meeting.
Yep. Yes.
Good job, Evie.
Good job, Evie. Stay downstairs.
Another thing, recently, if you've been on Nana's restaurant area and you see that little drum thing that's going up 5 drums in the artist is finally back there. Keith is there and he's getting more stuff, welding every drum as days go by. And I asked him, how come this one is different compared to what the bear and the other ones are? He says, this is what the people wanted, and that's what they're going to get. But he is fixing it up so that water will flow and there will be a lighting. So that's something that we're going to have to see, maybe another week or so. Anyway, talking about art, here we are. These people finally went to New York last weekend, and they came back yesterday. And Scott calls me up and says, when do you want us on? I said, how about today? Yes. So thanks for coming. You're probably all like, oh God, I'm still tired, right? Yep. Well, how about introducing you? You're Scott, that's Noel, and that's Romeo, yes. Right? Okay, so we can start from there. What are you involved with, and how long, and how did it all start?
Okay, well, I'm the coordinator of the Downriver Detroit Student Film Consortium.
Okay.
And it was an idea that popped into my head. I was a police officer downriver for 25 years, and I retired in 2015. And I used to do the career days at Wilson Middle School as a police officer. And after I retired, they said, will you come back? Because I was involved in independent filmmaking. And they said, will you come back and talk to the kids about making independent films? So I came in and talked to the 8th graders all day, and one of the last groups, one of the students raised his hand and said, how do I get into your films? And I went home and...
He said, I have another idea.
So the idea was to start a film program and a restorative program that could work in concert with the courts and other programs to get kids off the street, to give kids something to do, build their self-esteem, give them opportunities that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And this started in 2016, and we're into our 8th year.
Okay.
So.
Well, I know about a month ago you were supposed to come on the show, but you brought 3 representatives that did a marvelous job. They let us know what they were doing, and we put some filmed clips on. What had happened, though, when you went there? You said they had like 7,000 applications for the...
There were, the New York All-American High School Film Festival is the largest film festival, student film festival in the world.
Okay.
And we thought there were 3,500 entries. There were nearly 7,000.
Right.
And from all over the world. And out of that, they pick only so many to screen at the festival. And 6 of our projects screened.
Beautiful.
And not only did 6 of them screen, but 2 of them were nominated for awards. So you think out of nearly 7,000 films,
That was great.
yeah,
Yeah.
our little scrappy downriver kids did well.
Okay. You enjoyed the program, and you also enjoyed the weekend, right?
Yep.
What was the best thing you saw on the weekend?
The strange New York people. You'll see a lot of strange people.
Really?
Yes, really strange people. But you'll also see a lot of like good restaurants, and you'll see places where like movies were filmed. You'll see cool
Okay.
landmarks.
Uh-huh. So you had more or less the responsibility of figuring out where they're going to go eat and everything else,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, just getting them. Took, we had 15 kids, I think, total, and a couple chaperones, and just the logistics, airport to hotel, that's, in traffic, and trying to figure that out. Trying to figure out meals.
Yeah.
We tried to figure out a big meal, and that just couldn't happen in New York, getting that many seats at once, and so, yeah, we did some side trips. We did Central Park and Statue of Liberty, and wanted to show them some stuff besides just the film
Oh, yeah.
festival.
Yeah.
Just things they might not get to see again.
So you got to the point, though. Wait, maybe we can flip. Joe, can we flip on some of the pictures of the trip? Then they made comments on it. So,
One of the great things is it was very expensive, and we've got 44 kids in our program, and we really had to come up with who's going to go.
yeah.
And the community, we did a fundraiser. The community really pitched in and helped us send all these kids. Helped send all these kids to New York City. And this festival was just amazing. It was at the King's. It was the AMC, which has 40 theaters in it in Times Square. And then as you see on screen, that is the premiere, or the festival itself. And that's the screening of one of our projects. And the King's Theater seats, it was pretty full, about 3,000 students from all over.
Wow. Okay.
And there's a red carpet premiere, and there's Romeo up in front in the tan. And just our kids, we took quite an eclectic group with us.
Yep. Everybody got dressed up, and it's a fun time.
Yeah.
Well, what makes it rough? Like you said, you couldn't all eat at one. So,
So we kind of had to wing it, and there was a lot of food trucks, so.
oh, well, that helped.
Food trucks helped, yep.
A parent is a manager at the Shake Shack, and she got us all passes
Oh,
to
yeah?
the Shake Shack in New York, and the kids ate like kings, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah?
they did. And this community was just brilliant, and they gave these kids a memory they'll never forget. And would you say the best moments were just the bonding between people?
Yep. I had some really great moments with a lot of friends, laughing, talking, emotional moments we've even had,
Did you take a picture of it? I mean, any film it there or just your clips? I mean, they didn't go and say, hey, let's have a little film festival of our own right here. You just enjoyed what was there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was their festival, and we
Yeah.
attended it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You were telling me, though, about this character here really has a talent. Or do you
Oh.
want to talk about it? Or should we have the coordinator, Bragg?
Well, in all honesty, Romeo and I met for all the wrong reasons.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he made a couple bad decisions along the way, and Truant Officer Gillespie came into the picture, and I just saw this remarkable young man, and we had him come into the program, and he just shined. His first documentary showed all over the country. I'll let him talk about it, but he illustrated a comic book at age 11. He was 10 years old when I first met him. came into the program. And he illustrated a comic book. He wrote another comedy that's award-winning, and he's working on a animation project now. We
Oh,
just
really?
got we just got the software for that, and they're just amazing. And he's a talented young man, and he's going to go places. Did you tell her about your comic books and your projects?
Yeah. What subject?
Do you want me to tell her about like the documentary, the first
Sure.
one I ever did?
Sure.
Well, when I started getting in trouble in school, me and him he would pull me out of class to build these, what are they called? The planes, like military planes.
Oh,
Models.
Models. We would build models. And I told him I was interested in old war, like World War II stuff. And he told me how one of the last living Corsair pilots lived in Michigan and that I could go visit him and give him one of my Corsair planes model that I made with Gillespie. So we took it to him. I gave it to him. We did an interview. I met him. He was a really nice person, and
How old was he?
he was 98.
98.
98.
Yeah.
About that.
What about your comic book?
My comic book, I made it around when COVID started, so I made a character that was based off of him. It was a superhero comic, and it was called Captain COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, a little cheesy, but, and I wrote the story and drew it myself, and we got it published, and it almost sold out when I sold at the premiere.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah. So what are you going to do next now? Another comic book or what?
I don't know. I have been having a lot of writer's block, I'm just going with the projects I already have.
Okay.
Like the animation project, I'm just sticking with that for now until I can think of something.
Okay, then all of a sudden the idea will come on and
Yep.
you'll go back to the workforce.
What
huh?
about superheroes?
Superheroes, it was award winning. Me and a bunch of my friends, we got together and made that film. I had a really awesome time doing it with them. We had a lot of goofing around in the studio, and it was just fun.
With an ending you'll never forget.
Yep. We all got ran over by a truck.
You gave up the big book.
The big reveal.
Oh, well, we haven't had a chance to see it again, but we'll do it again, all right? Or you can come on another time?
Can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'll love to come on. another
Okay.
time.
Well, this time you'll bring that and whatever you're going to be, working on, so, okay. You, meanwhile, you're sitting at the other end, but I laughed because, like you said, your marriage, whether you're doing something for the person or not, you're indirectly involved in it. Then you
Right.
finally get into it, right?
Right. I pretty much have been in it from the beginning after he said I got an idea.
Okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I think my favorite part of this whole thing is the eclectic group of kids. And, some of them maybe had some issues at school or socially or whatever. And when they're in this group, they don't care if you're an athlete or an artist,
Right.
or it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And my main rule is you respect one another, you treat each other kindly, and they are awesome. And even on this trip, they all kind of, when you're walking with a group of 15 kids and you're down Times Square and there's thousands of people, you got to watch out for each other. You got to keep track of each other. You have to, and they all did it. And everybody kind of watched out for each other. And when they saw something funny, they shared it and they took pictures. And now we've got a group text going, which is kind of disruptive while I'm at work. But it's pretty funny because everybody's sharing all their photos and then making funny comments. So it's just awesome to see these kids that probably wouldn't have even looked at each other at school or given
Right.
each other the time of day, and now they just have this bond, and it doesn't matter. And they're kids from all different school districts, all types of personality, quiet ones, outgoing ones, and they just bring out the best in each other. I really feel like they do. And
Yeah, it became a family.
it absolutely became
Yeah.
a family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, and they watch out for each other and accept each other for what they are, and that's my favorite part of the whole program.
Okay. And like you said, you had your situations when you got to get to know each other. How many such people have you actually encountered in all these years?
Well, once you get in,
Yeah.
you can stay until you graduate
Okay.
from high school. That's called aging out, when you age out. But Romeo's been with us since he's been 10 years old, and he's just a freshman in high school now, and he's got 4 more years. And depending on if he goes away to school or whatever he decides, he'd probably be invited back as an instructor.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we've got kids from Detroit to Monroe to Dexter, Livonia, and downriver schools.
So at one point, you more or less had kids that were having problems in school, right? But after that, you did.
It's kids that have faced adversity in their lives.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's just not a program where they say, hey, I want to make films and sign up. They're recruited or referred. And if they have a younger brother or sister, we have a legacy program. They're automatically
That's right.
welcome
Well,
in.
just like the other Romeo, he mentioned that
Yes,
he was
a
there
legacy.
because
He was a legacy, yes. And it's a very powerful project. You were at our premiere.
Yeah.
And you see what they do and the talent. And if you give kids opportunities, they'll shine, period. And I'm working, no longer working in Wyandotte, and I'm working with the Detroit public school system. You're going to see a lot more Detroit kids in our program. And Rouge and Ecorse and Lincoln Park as well.
Okay, but that's great because all these kids gel. They're learning other ethnic groups, customs, songs,
Yeah.
language, whatever.
We, a year ago, we brought kids on the Spectrum board, and they're just brilliant. And I mean, we've got you met Alina, she has 2 prosthetic legs. We've got hearing impaired, seeing impaired. We've got kids that have been in trouble. We've got honor students. It's such an eclectic mix.
That's why it's my favorite. Like they just don't care, and they just embrace each other, and it's awesome.
Well, I was surprised at what is her name?
Alina?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alina.
I mean, she got on that stage, like nothing, and I'm looking, and do I see right? And like you said, she can climb mountains at that point.
She literally has climbed mountains. She
Yeah.
rides horses, motorcycles. She'll do anything that anybody can do.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do have a picture of her,
Yeah.
horizontal,
Balancing,
Central Park,
it
balancing
waited till
on
I
her
was
2
gone.
arms. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, we have a great thing going, and the community really backs us, and most of the school districts make referrals to us.
Okay.
And Romeo, he's a tough cat. He's a tough kid.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he wrestles and but
He's looking at me like.
but he's so talented, and our program is unconditional. I mean, they're kids, they're gonna mess up, and I believe in restorative practices, and we just don't give up on them, period.
Okay. Are you going to give up on them too?
No. No.
Beautiful. Okay.
And 2 of our greatest resources are actually like alumni of the program, and now they've come back, and Kelvin helps with editing. Well, they both help with
Yeah.
editing, and they're teaching these kids how to edit, and they were invaluable on the trip. And,
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, Kelvin and Zach. So, yeah, we're very lucky to have them.
Yeah.
That's great. Can you give any advice to somebody that's sitting at the other end and saying, well, you're not that bad? Or do you have any ideas that, gee, I wasn't that bad either, right? but you have to have a little bit of coaxing from some other people to get in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how can I say this? Like, even if you screw up, you could still, like, no, I can't think of it.
Overcome it?
Overcome it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of people to love you, to understand you in that.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you like acting though?
Yeah, I like acting.
Yeah.
I love acting.
He's a very good actor.
Yeah. So, what would? Well, you don't have music in your blood then, right?
Nope.
No, because there are some that are
We've got musically
musicians
inclined
too.
kids, yeah.
Yeah. But you're an actor, and you do drawing, and you're thinking of comedy mostly.
No, it's a little.
It's a little bit of
A little bit of everything?
Everything.
He's
Yeah.
a hell of a writer.
Yeah.
He really is.
Okay. When did you finally decide you could do that, though?
I've always been interested in like arts and stuff, like drawings and
I did.
yeah, watching comedies and like
Oh.
Yeah.
So you got your background doing that.
yep.
How about that? Oh, hey, could we run through those pictures maybe once again? Just to get a refresher of last weekend? Because you don't always get a chance to do that.
Right. And if I could take a moment and look at the cameras and say, thank you, community, Downriver community, for sending our kids.
He said he was gonna do that before the cameras were rolling.
Yeah. Sending our kids. They had an experience of a lifetime.
Like you said, there they are. They're seeing the lady, right?
Yeah.
You should have saw their faces just seeing it. You know, a lot of these kids have never flown before, let alone left the state of Michigan, and seeing stuff they've only seen in their history books, and walking where actors have walked and movies were made. That's the NBC studio. There's a Shake Shack where Val got us cards. That's at Central Park.
I heard somebody
You know,
like
that's
that,
the
though.
premiere. Look at all the people at the premiere. It
Yeah.
was amazing. There's Yusuf on the screen screening our project that was nominated. That's Principal retired Vicki Wilson and two of her students that were at her school. There's Romeo on the end. I was a little skeptical about that group going out there.
We split up in Central Park, but
Yeah,
worked out well.
but they're wonderful.
Okay.
So yeah, but thank you, Downriver community. We couldn't have done it without your support and the businesses, and there was nearly 100 people and businesses that donated.
Beautiful.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, because that's something, like you said, some other kid may not ever get there. And being in that park, too, I heard the kids really liked it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is this program is free for them. They don't pay for anything. Everything is paid for. There's no entry. There's no. They just have to get there, and if they can't get there, we'll go pick them up.
Okay.
So yeah, it's quite a unique thing. I haven't seen or heard any program like this around.
Well, I was surprised to hear it many years ago because I didn't know how it came about. And then when you start putting Downriver Detroit, I'm thinking, wow, there's a connection in many other ways.
Yeah.
It was when we had the group on 3 weeks ago. They mentioned what other cities have the festivals, and I said, "Well, I didn't know that either."
Yeah, there's a lot of festivals to enter. You know, but I mean, if there are parents or grandparents out there and their child or grandchild's having a rough go, you know, they could inquire with us, and we
Okay.
conduct interviews with kids and things like that. But we trying to keep the numbers under 50, and
And right now you have 44.
yeah, and but they're all busy. We keep them all busy, and they just show up and do great work.
Well, with you having the background on film, would any other person with a different talent be able to have that type of?
We have singers, we have
yeah,
people that play instruments,
Anybody that wants
illustrators.
to come help coach or mentor, we have people that have helped with dance, with makeup, sometimes they would do a little bit of horror or just whatever, and we have people that sing and help. We have people that are just want to help the kids, and their talent is that they're great. They have a great rapport with the kids. We have some adults who've worked in the schools, or even they're just good with the kids. And because when we all meet together, it's a lot of kids. And so we have to break up. So, this adult might take the 5 kids and maybe they know about cameras and lighting, or they know about makeup, and he sees one of the students that they want to do makeup, so then he'll put them together, and then it just they learn. And some of them don't want to be in front of a camera. They just don't like it, and they want to learn editing, or they want to learn the camera. They want to learn shooting. I usually take photos, so it was fun. One of our guys has a camera, and I took him around and I showed him how things look so different at night. Right? We went to Rockefeller Center during the day. We went to Rockefeller Center at night. We went to St. Patrick's Cathedral in the day and at night. And I was surprised because I was there with a group of the boys that weren't ready to call it a night, and I wasn't sure how they feel about the cathedral, and they were just in awe, and then they asked to go back the next day, and the light, so they could see the light come through the windows, and and the photos one of the students took, he just took hundreds of photos, I think, with his camera, and he did a really great job. But, so they all had their different things they're interested in, so adults that help out and teach us, because in reality, when he started, he didn't know a lot of the technical. He had the stories in his head. Yeah.
But Joanne Lanigan,
she's awesome.
From Youth Assistance, retired. She's a mentor. Paul Knott from Southgate, he was a scout leader and a board member. They're just great with kids. They don't have to know anything about films.
Yeah, they just
and filmmaking. But I'm no film expert, but I know enough.
Yeah,
and I surround
we learn
myself
all the time.
I surround myself with people that do. And your Calvins and your Steve Schultes and your sound people, and
Okay. So. Hey, we got only a couple minutes left. I thank you for coming. And if you think of something else again, hop down. Maybe Romeo will want to come back that time and give us an idea of another comic book. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or maybe you can host his movie and he'll talk about it. Or you play it.
How about that? It sounds like there's a lot of weight on your shoulders right now. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're back home, safe and sound. All right. Anyway, for some of you people that don't realize, another art is going to be dedicated, and that's a mural on First and Oak on October 30th at 5:30. So that person is Fel, F-E-L. And I think there's a number 3000, which if you watch Gooder, you would have found out the history and story behind it. Yeah.
Romeo would like to shout out to some of his friends. Is that okay?
Sure.
Don't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead, Romeo.
All right. Shout out to Manny. Shout out to Jacob Perez. Shout out to Cartman. Shout out to...
One more.
Okay. Shout out to Ruben.
Okay.
Shout out to Ruben.
Hey. Okay. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Up, Down, and Around Town. Bye now. Okay.